Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing New Orleans map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. We'll start with Team 1 on the northeastern side, also known as the red team. And then we'll end with Team 2 on the southwestern side, also known as the blue team. Starting off with Team 1's Western player first in Chevy Crimson. It is Kitty playing as a UEF. He is a 1428 rated. To his southeast in Ruby Red, we have Han with 2 N's playing as a Cybran. He is a 1435 rated. He's also the highest rated player on Team 1. And in orange color 1, to his northeast, it is Frieden playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1365 rated. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 1 UEF, 1 Cybran, 0 Aeon, and then 1 Seraphim. Moving on to Team 2 southeastern side first, we have in Royal Blue, it is Prosiska playing as a Cybran. He is a 1489 rated. To his north, we have in Stitch Blue, it is Azure Phoenix, aptly named there. He is a 1702 rated. He is the highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall. And last but not least, for Team 2, we have an Amethyst Purple. It is Starset playing as a Cybran. He is a 1008 rated or 1009 rated player. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 1 UEF, 2 Cybran, 0 Aeon, and 0 Seraphim, which means for the entirety of this match, there are no Aeon players. Apologies to those loyal to the princess. Hopefully you enjoy the game nonetheless. And for these 6 players on the map, let's take a look at their reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 40,000 mass and reclaim. That means it's just shy of 7,000 mass per player. Most definitely worth writing home about. Let's take a look at the major clumpages. It does look like there's kind of a C shape kind of forming on the east and western side for players to grab in terms of that reclaim. There's also a almost isolated section in the northwest and the southeast. There's a little bit of a valley there for units to walk through. We already see Team 2's Prosiska sending troops there. Same thing with Team 2's Azure Phoenix to the northwest. There isn't a lot of mexes in those corners of the map, but there are, of course, the reclaim, which is probably going to be a little bit more advantageous for upgrading the mexes in the main base. Because the mexes on the map, there's just not that many. For Team 1 side of the map being the northeastern side, we have a tri-mex position here and then a 5-star mex position there. It does look like this map could have been set up for a 4v4, so that would have been even less mexes per player, which would definitely be starving for mass, at least in terms of everybody being starving for mass. There's a couple of mexes dotted around the map, but really there's not a lot. Small little island in the middle. Maybe somebody will do big boat, small pond, maybe. We'll see. But again, it's just one of those things where not a lot of mexes, which makes every kill, every little bit of reclaim, every mex denied very, very valuable. We do see Transport dropping off some engineers, reclaiming the engineers from Team 2. We do see those engineers have scooped up all of the other engineers. They're getting the remaining of those, well, dead units, reclaim, Rex, thingamajigs down there. But most of that reclaim is now gone. Same thing with the northwest. That reclaim is already gone. So Team 2 already in the head in terms of a reclaim by almost double. But Team 1 a little bit more ahead on the mass per second game. And in terms of calm distributions on the map, we have 1v2 in favor for Team 2 on the western side, and then 2v1 on the eastern side favoring Team 1. So we should see a little bit more momentum in the direction for Team 2 that away, and then a little bit more in the direction for Team 1 that away. A couple of units now facing the wrath of Team 1's Frieden's Calm, and looks like it's a lot of Mantis inbound again. Team 2 only has Cybran and UEF tech. Team 1 has Cybran, UEF, and Seraphim technology. They have access to those Ilshis, those Zui, and of course those chickens. One unit ran by. Not going to be a huge issue. You can divert maybe a Mantis or 2 from Team 1's Han to intercept. Looks like it's going westward. A couple of mexes will probably die. We'll see if he notices that or not. We do see that Team 2's Prosiska now going for a gun upgrade. Not pushing in very forward. And that is affecting the middle of the map here. Again, not a lot of mexes here for Team 1 or Team 2 to even grab. But again, that's some mass a second. Regardless, Han started his gun upgrade. West, Starset, and Curdy going to get some shots in between one another. It's going to be 2,000 additional hit points in favor for Team 1. And with the additional units from Curdy, that's definitely going to help not thin, but widen that gap considerably. And that will force that comm into the yellow before Curry even loses 1,000 hit points. Now it's Starset with the advantage with a couple of strikers inbound from Azure. I like the back and forth coming into assist from the western side from Team 2's Azure. He's rooted to the spot on a gun upgrade. Bombers inbound to assist. Gun almost done for Pro Cisco. Gun almost done for Han. It looks like Freedom maybe went into the water for a little bit. There's no reclaim in the middle, so I really don't see why. I mean, there's a couple of units and whatnot there, but there's not really anything in the water itself. Team 2 has the northwestern side corner, and Team 1 has the southeastern side for the most part. So pretty much a 50-50% game at this point at almost 10 minutes on the clock. Gun started for Team 1's Cutie. Gun started, almost done for Azure at this point. Will they go for Nano? He does go for Nano. Will he go for Nano is the question. He might go for T2, so we'll see what their approaches are. Stealth is done for Pro Cisco, not going for Nano. Stealth started for Han, and T2 started for Frieden. So again, a little bit more offensive for Han, a little bit more defensive for Frieden. And in terms of any sort of sneaking attacks from Team 1 and Team 2, don't see anything on the cards as of yet. Transport picks up the comm of Starset. He pulls back. He's going to go back to some sort of conglomeration of bases for Team 2. T2 Air is online for him. Do we see T2 Air online? Yes, we do for Team 1. Already about halfway there for a T3 upgrade. So a little bit of advantage for Team 1 in that regard. Stealth is almost done. T2 is almost done. Gun is done. And Nano is almost done. So lots of upgrades starting to be completed. And now we see Gun started for Team 1's Frieden in the east. In the southeast, we do see a Pro Cisco continuing to just push. Slowly but surely, though, there's a lot of forces for both teams here. Again, it's Gun Stealth versus Gun Stealth, so no advantage for upgrades one way or the other. We have Kitty now done with the Nano upgrade on board, so he has Gun and Nano versus Team 2's Gun and Nano, so 13,000 versus 13,000. A little bit more veterancy for Team 1, but honestly shouldn't matter too much. He does send some forces westward, and he might send them eastward to just push in the Team 1's western side, but we'll see if he ends up sending them that way or not. The first veterancy now achieved by Curie. Now we have Nano started and canceled for Han. Again, definitely a little bit aggressive on the front line. Both players went for upgrades, but Team 2 finished theirs first, but didn't go for Nano. If he did, maybe that upgrade for Han would have finished. A couple of Rhinos inbound. We have Frieden inbound with a T2 and Gun Comm inbound to help prevent Team 2's assaults. Han, again, he's not looking too great. He does have a veterancy now to get some more hit points back in regen. Rhino in the mix, T2 PD trying to be spammed up. Another one does not get completed. It would take just a couple of moments to finish it, to be honest. Even Frieden could just click it and be done with it. The upgrade, not the upgrade, but the T2 PD emplacement is done. That will help thin out the remaining forces for Team 2. So again, just kind of a, not leveling up, but just kind of a, what's the word? A mutually assured destruction in terms of those forces. But veterancy all around. We have Proskiska at 1, Frieden at 1, and Han almost at 2 star veterancy on board. Western side, we have Curie versus Azure Phoenix over here to the west. Again, it's Gun Nano versus Gun Nano, but Curie is taking a lot of hits from Azure's comm. And this force is inbound to assist, but there's a lot of T2s here for Team 2, and that's not looking too great for Team 1. And eastern side, we have Pro Cisco. No, not being hunted down by Frieden. He looks like he was focused on something else for a moment and decides, nah, it's fine, whatever. 2-star event almost done for Han in the east. Gunship over top is going to help out a little bit. I don't know if it's going to help out too much, and Azure's continuing to push. There is a T1 PD there he has to watch out for. He does take a couple of shots. Nothing too critical, though. It looks like some more units going to start pushing in as well. No, the comm of Starset just really deciding what he wants to do with his comm. Doesn't really... No, looks like he is going to drop here. He has Gun and Nano, so it's Gun Nano and Gun Stealth versus Gun Stealth and then Gun and T2. So hit point region a little bit in favor for Team 2. And we do see Curie continuing to just try to hold back Azure. Again, he's at almost 3-star vet, and Azure's now almost at 2. And they're just constantly trading blows, those two. Not really giving up territory one way or the other. Again, this map is definitely very, very thin on the reclaim, on the mexes. So It's going to be one of those games where the eco got decently high pretty quickly, and then they're starting to level off a little bit. T3 Air online for Team 1. T3 Air is coming online for Team 2, but it is behind. Team 1 could capitalize with a bomber. Do they know the situation? They do know the situation, at least to some degree. Team 2, do you know the situation? You do not. You would presume that that's a T3 Air headquarters at this point, given the fact that it looks destroyed and whatnot, even though it wasn't. Prosiska asking for some assistance, looks like, from Starset. Just get back up to full HP, it looks like. Again, just a little bit of assistance. Nothing too much. Just, a couple seconds to assist with getting it back up to 100%. Doesn't really need to, but, it's a nice assistance nonetheless. And they're both hanging out over here. Not making any moves yet. Probably focused more on what's going on in their base. We have 16 minutes on the clock. Team 1 is at 370. Sorry, Team 1's at 350. Team 2's at 380. So a little bit in favor for Team 2, but honestly not by much. And that's pretty much, I think, for the most part, just dictated a little bit by Reclaim, just because they got a little bit more chunky of the initial grab, which means they upgrade a little bit sooner, most likely, which means they have a little bit more mass right now. But it just all depends on how you spend it, regardless of how much you make. A couple more defenses coming online for Prosiska as a fallback position. Isn't deciding to push in just yet. And no bomber online for Team 1 in terms of the T3 variety. Oh, no, scratch that. He is going for a bomber now. Team 2 would have, there is T3 Air online now. I feel like a little bit too late to the party, to be honest. I mean, I guess it's never too late to show up, but still. Shield started for Curie. We do see that Azure is falling back. Again, a couple of pillars saying nah. There's also a Mongoose mixed in there as well. There's a decent amount of pillars from Team 2 here. He needs to be careful. He could get easily overwhelmed. He doesn't want to be rooted to the spot unless he's pretty much done with the upgrade. And it's already 60% in climbing. By the time those pillars would have pushed in and got close to the combi, would have probably been fine. And the overcharges and everything else would have helped out a ton. T3 land has been started for Han. T3 land, T3 air, and then T3 air. Sorry, land is almost done for Team 2 Starset. So everybody's starting to get a little bit close to that T3 main stage fight. Again, it's a little bit slower to get the ball rolling because of, well, the fact that there's not a lot of mass on the map in mexes at this point. Bomber drops another payload, kills off another T2 mech. Interceptors are on its case. ASF also on its case. Kills off the bomber. Got a couple of mechs is dead. Looks like 3 of them, which again isn't bad. One of them was, actually that's not a mech. That is a mech, but it's a T1, so it counts, but not by much. Bomber's inbound, kills off another mech. That's another 6 mass a second that Team 2 is losing out on. That chipping away is definitely helping out Team 1. It makes me think it's power related to some degree. It makes me think it's, yep, there it is. I was going to say it's probably Azure. And there goes Azure again. It's Curie with gun, nano, and shield on board, which gives him a total of 37. We'll just round up to 38,000 hit points. And Team 1 PD hastily being built with a couple of T2s over here just north of Azure. And overcharge goes of another unit. And now we see Curie at 4-star event, almost at 5. And that's why he's pretty much said 19,000, because he's pretty much going to get almost pretty close to 40. And he's getting closer and closer to that number. Azure's still taking hits, and Team 1's keeping up the pressure. Again, he has 19,000 at a bare minimum to play with. He's definitely using that to his advantage. We have a little bit of a nice little base up here. T3 land's going to be built up here. Looks like for engineers, for maybe just AA and locking out that corner of the map. We have a couple of Wagners. No, it's Riptides. Riptides over here from Team 2, annoying some Rhinos, and definitely don't want to go up against the Rhinos when you have Riptides, just because they don't have as many hit points or as much DPS or whatnot. But there is some flak also mixed in, so it's not just those Rhinos. It looks like Team 2's eco is pretty much back to where it was. A little bit in favor for Team 2 still, but again, still not by much. Looks like the Riptides killed off that Loyalist. Now they're going after some T2 mexes that are single ringed. And again, not a lot of damage, but 1,000 of anything will kill anything. Another gunship added to the mix, and they might kill off a T2 mix. Maybe. They kill off 1. That's probably going to be about it. Bomber inbound from Team 1 once again. Did it get shot down immediately already? I think. Yep. No, that's the old one, I think. What that? Oh, I hear it again. Where'd it go? Odd. Yeah, I don't see the bomber anywhere. It looks like a lonely little brick ran up and said hi to a mech and is now being killed off. It's dropping another payload, unless it's Team 2's bomber, and I just don't see it. Yeah, I just don't see it from Team... Oh, there it is. It's on the edge of the map. That's why I couldn't see it. Bomber inbound, drops off, kills off. I think a missile launcher was sitting there. That's definitely unfortunate for Team 2. We do have Starset getting in the way of Curie and Azure's fight. We have a couple of Team 1 PDs, which are really ripping apart Starset's hit points. He's dropping about 70%. Curie still has the shield on board. Again, it's a little bit under half HP. We have gunships inbound. There's a couple of bouncers nearby, it looks like, from Team 2. And Team 1 says, nope, not doing that. So they're going home, or at least falling back. Strat is inbound, though. It's going to get hit by that AA mobile unit. And it goes, yeah, it's probably not a good idea, and decides to go somewhere else more friendly. We do have that brick that just roaming the map. Looks like they're using the water and trying to, skirt units across the map, but Team 1 should be aware of that at this point. They do see the radar signatures, or sonar signatures, whatever you want to call them. Actually, technically it's radar because they're not actually in the water. And at 23 minutes on the clock, Team 1 is at 3 players still. Team 2 is also at 3 players still, which means nobody has died yet, being the keyword in that statement. So we'll see how many players actually die. We do see some loyalists just waiting, and those Hiptides are like, yeah, we're not going to go that way. I'm surprised that Starset and Azure haven't just pushed out Curie at this point. Yeah, they have a little bit of an air advantage, but honestly, it's not by a whole lot. I am surprised that they're not pushing in a little bit more on that western front. Same thing on the eastern side for Team 1. Again, not really playing an aggressive game on land, at least. It was a bit focused more on eco, it looks like. And at 24 minutes almost, Team 1's now barely in the lead, 700 to 670. I'm kind of rounding a little bit there to make the math easy in my head. ASFs are inbound to intercept those gunships, but the gunships are staying back, and there's also a couple of interceptors mixed in. Not a lot, but a couple of shots distracted is better than nothing. We do see Ravagers being built. Monkey Lord's made a comment by Frieden. There it is. Monkey Lord is online. It either goes northward to go after the comm over here, or it goes eastward to go after the comm here. That's really only the two options. You could send it this way, but I feel like Team 1 is prepped for that, so probably better off to go this way. And maybe even at that point force the units to fall back, intercept, and then push in with your own units against that front line. There's some Team 1 emplacements and a couple of T2s, but honestly not a lot, to be honest. Shield is done for Team 2's Azure. Now it's Gun, Nano, and T2. Gun, Nano, T2 for Team 1, and then Gun, Nano for Starset on that western side. We even see that Curry is falling back in a result to that Ravager while ravaging at his front line. And in terms of the eco again, Team 1 skyrocketing. Hey, look at that, 900 mass a second. Really jumping in that eco. I wonder what they're going to spend it all on. Team 2 at 720, so it's about 200 in Team 1's favor at this point instead of the 30 it was moments ago. Makes me think it's also power related. Because the team, no, that's actual eco. Because both teams have been pretty well close to one another in terms of mass per second. Again, a little bit in favor for Team 2, but looks like Team 1 has flipped that on its head quite severely. We do see some bricks running around. There is that Monkey Lord in the pond. We have gunships waiting to be given orders. And that Strat Bomber has actually got a friend now, so there's 6,000 damage between them two, and then gunships as well. And the bricks, they're slowly whittling down that Monkey Lord. Not a lot of damage, but there's something. There is a nice little cruiser online, coming across with some missiles online. Oh, and they don't like that. And the gunships get baited to go after the Governor class, and it looks like they might get it. But again, at what cost? Lost all the gunships in the engagement. And now everything else from Team 2 is making landfall. Not looking good for Team 2. Sorry, for Team 1 at all. There's another Strat Bomber, drops a payload, but they're going to get eaten up by the ASF. There's one, and then there's two, so it helps a little bit, but I don't know if it helps enough. Bricks are still behind that Monkey Lord, and now he's being sandwiched between tickle cannons and a brick and multiple bricks. Bricks need to keep moving to assist with defense, and Those bricks are not anywhere near engaging. Monkey, it looks like it's gotten away for now. Team 1, you don't have a defense against that. That's not going to be good. And on the eastern side, we do see Loyalists pushing in. Sorry, not Loyalists. Bricks pushing in to Team 1's Freedom's position. And technically Han, who's still dealing with this Monkey Lord from Team 2. Western side, we have some Percys engaging. Percys from Team 1. Percy v Percy fight's always hard to watch, but those of you who hate the Percy, it is a nice a little engagement there. And now on the eastern side, we have Team 1. They're not actually losing the front line, to be honest. Team 2 fell back. Looks like they were losing too many of their T3s to make it worth it, it looks like. But Monkey Lord has killed off 4 mexes so far. That's really good for Team 2 catching up and actually gaining the lead in terms of eco. We do see that Monkey Lord's now taking shots from the not gunships, but the transports up top. Another transport going to drop off a brick. Heavily damaged transport, but the brick isn't dead. And a little bit of the land grid is not looking good. Oh! Oh, T3 land headquarters? T3 land headquarters? I mean, the mexes are also important, but T3 land headquarters? And the comm drops. The comm drops himself and kills off the Monkey Lord with an overcharge. Great assistance, because he probably would have lost that headquarters just momentarily after that, but that's a lot to lose. You have 5 dead mexes here, and then a whole base pretty much dead worth of mexes as well. So let's say 10 mexes. That's 27 mass a second if it's single ringed, which makes it 270 mass, and that's a huge differential at this point. We have Kirby over here to the Curly, or Curly, depending if it's an L. It's hard to tell if it's an L or an I. It looks like there's a dot, but it's hard to tell. Anyway, Azure taking a brunt of the damage from those Percys, loses all of the shielding capacity. Curry still has his, and he's still losing hit points. 30 minutes, not even on the clock yet. Azure get out of there, but he can't. And there he goes. Team 1 scores first blood onto Azure Phoenix. He will not rise from the ashes this game. And it is now a 3v2 in favor for Team 1. Not even 30 minutes in the game. We have a transport up to the north, dropping off some Percys from Team 2's Pro Siska. Maybe it was Azure Phoenix's ploy, but it's Pro Siska's now. He's going to drop that payload of Percys. Immediately drops it on top of Kiri's forces over here in this nice little UEF base. And not looking good. Luckily, there's no headquarters here, which is a little... Well, it's over here. It's a little odd. It's not over there, but hey. You do with what you can. We do see western side. Starset trying to hold the line, but he's taking shot after shot from those Percys. Not looking too hot. Those Percys need to keep moving and turn around and shoot the comm, at least if you want to shoot the comm. And Starset drops to 37. Couple more shots will do him in. One, I think actually 2 more technically. One, oh, nope, they haven't hit him yet. They're hitting all the engineers. He's getting close. One more hit will do it. They kill off the T3 mechs. Oh, Starset gets underneath shielding. That would have killed him if it connected. Oh, and there's still the incoming aggression from Team 1. A little bit of revenge for the attack from those Percys moments ago, which we didn't actually fully check up on that, but I didn't want to lose sight of the comm. T3 Omnisense is going to go down here momentarily. Shield goes down. Oh, they both miss. Ooh. Oh, that Omni going down would probably help out a little bit. Takes another hit. He does have Nano, which is definitely keeping him alive. There's the Omni kill, still hunting that comm. And everything else getting shot at. But again, he's probably just barely out of range at this point. Might as well just turn around. Overcharge kills off 3 of the Percys. That's a nice grab and gains some veterancy to get back into the yellow. And Overcharge kills off almost the 4th and 5th one. Another Percy shot. It's only going to take maybe 2 more. Gets another set of veterancy, though. He survives. He's not going to die right now, at least. Ooh, that was very close. And a nuke is inbound from Pro Siska. Where is it going? It's going in for the air grid of Team 1. And there's also a nuke back there out of range of the nuke from Team 2. But unfortunately, that nuke will land for Team 2. Fortunately for Team 2, unfortunately for Team 1, but the reinforcement Percys kill off Starset. Barely caught them at the last moment. Just a huge, just walk, and not enough to get away. Should have probably kept walking once it dealt with the first set of Percys, but that's just me. And that leaves just Prosiska remaining for Team 2. It's all versus the world for him. Kaboom! Doesn't kill the Quantum Gateway, but kills the everything else. Nuke is a little bit under half loaded. We have constant missile bombardment from the middle here from those governors. That's going to eat away at Team 2's defenses everywhere on the map. Percy's continuing to engage. And now Team 2 is about 300 mass in their favor. Actually, in his favor at this point, with Prosiska being the last remaining player. Megalith is online. We'll deal with the remaining Percys. But again, it's 3 players' bases under 1 player's control versus 3 players, 1 base for each of them. Unfortunately, these mexes are dead. These mexes are dead. And that's a lot of mass gone for Team 1. We have Frieden down to about 100 mass a second. Not looking too hot. Team 2, I mean, they need a win in terms of just comm deaths just to make it a little bit even at this point. But I don't know. They have that nuke online, and it already landed 1 payload. I wouldn't be surprised if it lands another one. SMDs are being loaded now. It was just built, so good luck getting that loaded soon enough. Team 2 might have another opportunity to just nuke something on Team 1. Laser started for Han. If he doesn't go for cloaking, that might be a missed opportunity, to be honest. Megalith moving in as well. We have a second one already online, it looks like, for Kiri. We do see those cruisers in the bay hanging out, just shooting at some whatever's over there. Love the cruisers. Fire infinite missiles, and they fire not just, you know, a couple of, you know, a second or two, like, you know, every other second or every third second they fire a missile. It's pretty much every second they fire, which is just incredibly quickly, I might add. And looks like the defenses are getting overwhelmed severely. T3 Mex is under threat. Good thing they weren't Cybern. They would have killed that Mex off by now. Oh, there's a couple of missile redirects in there, which is fine. The only problem with the missile redirect is the fact that these cruisers have TMD on board, so it really doesn't do anything that the missile gets fired back at them. But, you know, it's something, I guess. Oh, that cruiser did not die? That's odd. I feel like he got shot by that Megalith, but that's a little odd. Anyway, 35 minutes on the clock in climbing. We have a Megalith on the western side, Megalith for Team 2, so it's 1v1 in that regard. But there are a couple of units nearby for Team 1. He doesn't have veterancy. That Megalith also doesn't have veterancy, but does get a couple of early shots on him. Percys are inbound to assist, and that will definitely help out. It won't maybe save the Megalith entirely, but it will help. There's a bug over here hanging out. No idea what it's up to, but it's doing something. Shield is down. More bricks are inbound. 50,000 versus 50,000. It's going to be close. It might be in favor for Team 2 because of all these bricks inbound. There are Percys, though, inbound as well. Ooh, bug is inbound between the bug and the other reinforcements and the Megalith. Doing a little bit of damage first. That looks like it's going to be enough to win that fight. With the Megalith for Team 1 slowing down just a little bit. Megalith is almost dead. There's the shot. Kills off the Mega. Team 2 gets the reclaim, so there's that. But they probably definitely wanted the Megalith online, at least in part, so they just defend the base. Looks like that cruiser's still not dead. I'm surprised that that Megalith left him alive. Maybe it was a mistake or something, just didn't notice. But anyway, 36 minutes on the clock. Team 1 is at 715. Team 2 is at 830, so 115 mass in Team Prosiska's favor, I should say. Right, and it's now a 3v1 in favor for Team 1. And again, very defensive Team 1. They're not really pushing in on that eastern front. And that SMD is now reloaded. The Team 2 have a nuke loaded. That would be unfortunate. They did, and it's firing now. And it's going northward. Ooh, Curry's got to get out of there. Get on a transport, do something. He's walking right in the path of that nuke. He should make it by, though. I mean, the map isn't super big, but it depends if he gets booped along the way or not. Doesn't look like he is, though. But who knows? It could be... Oh, maybe not. Oh, he's dead. Oh. He might be fine. No, he's not. Kaboom! Nuke is set off, which means Curie dies to the nuke from Team 2. Prosiska gains his first blood of the match. Well, actually, the first blood for Team 2 in general. At 37, almost a half minutes on the clock. Base will now be transferred over to Han, it looks like. So now, actually, it looks like it's part. Looks like some of it went to Han and some of it went to Frieden. Maybe to just kind of even out the eco a little bit. The laser is almost done for Han. Could be an opportunity. Team 1, all they have to do is just blow up Pro Siska's comm, and that's it. Nuke is inbound. You did not build an SMD anywhere. Oh, there's no, that's not an SMD. There's no SMD anywhere? Oh, that is unfortunate. Team 1, you don't know where the nuke is, so it doesn't look like they fired on it. Looks like they went after the air grid, which is still a viable option, to be honest, but looks like Pro Siska's like, oh, I'm just going to go right back over here and get out of there. Will it drop early? It will not drop early. It will go after the air grid. I'll take a look at what's going on in the middle of the map here in a second, but here comes the nuke. Kaboom! Wipes out 2, 4, 6 mexes and a monkeyloid that was started. So that's a chunky eco gun for Team 2 and a bunch of power as well. What's that down to Siska's? Actually, he's perfectly fine. Now he's just draining just illuminating power and mass. Ugh. Not spending it, which means it's a waste. He needs to spend all that mass. Maybe assist the nuke, which he's already doing. He's assisting an SMD right now, getting that thing online. It was a great nuke. Team 2 has killed off 106,000 mass, so that's about 53,000 per nuke. Team 1 has killed off 72, so average of 1 is 1. And 4 bugs inbound. That's a lot of firepower in the air, to be honest. A little surprised he went for the bug, but he could have gone after, I don't know, Novax or something. That looks like Team 2 will just annihilate the Western Front. Again, a little bit of loss for Team 1 in terms of mexes, but honestly, most of their investment is in their main base, and we still have these mexes being rebuilt as we speak, not being ringed as well, so definitely needs to get on that sooner rather than later, get that extra mass flowing. Teleporter starting for Han. He took forever to build the laser, so it's going to take him even longer to build that teleporter. I don't know if it'll finish before the end of the match at this point, given the, what was the rate on it? 263. Oh, it's a lot shorter than I thought it was. It's a little, was it a little bit over 4 minutes, about almost close to 4.5 minutes. I was thinking 6 for some reason. I was like, that math, or 5. I was like, that math is, that's 300 seconds. That's too much. And those 4 bugs starting to roam around, at least killing off the western half. Looks like it's mainly just the bricks doing the work. The bugs are just there just to act tough, I guess. It's just a muscle. But the teleport, I will admit this, the teleporter, even with it sped up to 2, is going by incredibly quickly, I might add. It looks like he's getting a bunch of mass fabs to help assist with mass consumption. And almost 70 and climbing. Actually, 70 and climbing, I should say. That cruiser is still alive, by the way, and we have that fat boy on the ground moving into Frieden's position to the west. This has been ignored by Team 1. This has pretty much been ignored by Team 2. There's something down there, but not a whole lot, to be honest. Teleporter is done faster than the laser. And will he teleport and kill off Team 2? Will they find Team 2's comm is the question. Looks like they might have. There it is. They pinpoint the comm's location. He's still there. They could go after the nuke as well, kind of make it a 2-for-1 punch. He could land right here. Obviously, he knows the Soul Ripper is being built there, but he land right there and then laser this, then laser that, or just laser. Actually, honestly, it's not really even worth going after the nuke. Just go after the comm and you win the game straight up. It's one of those scenarios, yeah, I want to blow all the stuff up, but if you just kill the comm, you blow all the stuff up anyways. You blow everything up. And Novax is coming online for Team 2's Pro Siska. So he's going for air experimentals, and he's going for air quotes, experimentals. Being those and Novax's. Monkey Lord in the east, thinning out some numbers from Team 2. We have an attack now starting to form, and they could launch an assault on the ground. Nuke is inbound from Team 2 once again. I don't know where it's going. It's going westward. It looks like SMD was built but not loaded. Crab is getting out of there. We have forces inbound from Pro Siska from the west. Nuke has pretty much already reached its target. It's going to be heavily damaged, that megalith, before those units get anywhere near it. And there go all the engineers. The SMD will be killed off. Kaboom. Again, EMPs, the megalith. And that is the end of that Omni sensor right there. Middle of the map, more and more cruisers amassing. Eastern Front not looking too hot. It's getting closer and closer, but the 4 bugs are here, so hopefully Team 1 has AA, which they have a little, but nowhere near enough, though. They almost need that entire land force to be made up of AA, almost, because they still have other bricks and whatnot to contend with. from Pro Cisco. 44 minutes on the clock and climbing. And that Fat Boy to the north is starting to really annoy Team 1. We see a counter Fat Boy is also coming online for Team 1 as well. Looks like, again, lots of AA defending themselves against the bugs. Couple of shielding emplacements. No shield over the nuke. That's very unfortunate. I don't even know Team 2 knows where it is. They have no idea. Where's the comm of Han? He's over there. Is he teleporting again? Yes, he is. Looks like he's taking some damage from something. Don't know what he teleported into, but where's he going? Where is he going? I don't see his move icon anywhere. Oh, he's over here. Looks like it's being shot up by some transports. Isn't even lasering anything, honestly. Oh. Could have lasered the Novax. Novax is being assisted. His laser's freaking out. And comm will move. Comm will not get out of there in time and dies. It is now a 45-minute game, and now it's a 1v1 as well. Nice counter by Team 2's Pro Cisco. Builds 6 bugs and says, nah, go away. I don't want it. That laser was freaking out, though. I have no idea why it wasn't sitting onto one target. YOLO, says Han. I don't think you have enough time for YOLO. He's building a Hovatham. I don't know if he has the... he has a decent amount of mass, but I don't know if it's worth the mass at this point to spend on a YOLO. It's just constant zapping over here on the eastern side. Zap, 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 zap. Those missiles just won't stop. Nuke is inbound. Hey, that'll deal with that. If the missiles won't do it, then a bigger, fatter, more explosive missile will do it. Second Novax is done for Team 2. He's building a third and then a fourth. Because why not? 46 minutes and climbing. And there goes the nuke. There is that satellite over here wiping out more mexes. Kaboom! And now the cruisers can focus on other targets. That's their range. Pretty much they can hit that T3 mix and it's about it. Everything else is kind of just there. It's just not going to reach it. We have 2 satellites moving over. Artillery is in the yellow. I guess he's ignored this. No, he's still building that one, but not really focusing on it. Third Fat Boy is done. Wow, that's a lot of Fat Boys. Third Fat Boy is done, working on its fourth. And those satellites slowly picking apart all of the T3 mexes. Looks like they may be targeting TMD. It looks like, again, you could target the mex itself. It's better to target those, get the AoE, and then try to kill it off. See, there it is. A little bit over half hit points remain, and then the second charge should be enough to deal with the remaining hit points for that mex. Yeah, I can't talk. Shields when you have time. Yep, see, it just takes 2 bursts, and there goes the T3 mix. If it's double ringed, it's still going to be 2 if it's single ringed, but if it's double ringed, it's for sure a double. Artillery is almost online. Not really shielded, to be honest. There's a huge gap there. There's a small gap there. And artillery is online, 48 minutes and climbing. Another Fat Boy, I guess, is almost done. Yeah, almost done. They're working on even another one. There's 3 of them to the north there. I don't know if betting everything on artillery is going to work. SMD is not covered. SMD is covered. Shielding coming online. Trying to get as much online as possible. And I would assume that third Novax is soon to be. And fourth Novax is inbound. That is a lot of firepower inbound. And looks like that land army is inbound as well. Lots of bricks. Lots and lots of stuff. Nuke is shielded. Love to see it. It is loaded. Ready to go. Team 2, do you have SMD? Yes, you do. It is loaded. SMD also over there is loaded. So could go after those mexes, but probably not given the range. Yeah, given the range on that. Nope. I always think the map looks a lot bigger than it actually is. 49 minutes and climbing, and Team 2 is starting to tighten that noose around Team 1's neck. It's just Frieden versus Pro Cisco. Shielding has actually started to collapse, to be honest. Because some P-gens and whatnot have been destroyed already. Not looking good there, and already taking significant damage. It's only going to take probably one more volatile explosion from a P-gen to wipe out that artillery emplacement. And with 4 of those satellites inbound, I don't know if he has enough firepower. SICU goes down. That's unfortunate. I think that was Team 1's, though. It teleports in. It was Team 1's. Teleports in, tries to kill off the SMD, but it wasn't enough. And maybe would have helped out. Another nuke is inbound, but they didn't grab the SMD, so it really doesn't matter. And for 50 minutes and climbing over top, shielding is about to collapse. You really want that generator right there to the northwest corner. Oh, it's still firepower. We have units inbound from the south, units inbound from the west. The west would be fine. The shielding and the units down from the south are definitely the focus. And now we have Frieden taking some damage from that grouping of satellites, and now that shield is down. Frieden does have 42,000 hit points to play with. He has the advanced nano upgrade online. Pretty much the only reason why he's still alive at this point. And those forces are collapsing onto the not air grids, but the shield grid. There goes some P-gens there. More mass FAFs going down. Frieden probably took some damage from that. Shielding is down. At least that one is. Overcharge goes off another unit. 51 minutes in climbing. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bugs. Bugs wipe out the artillery. Frieden's going to die. Going after a brick wall. Another bug is down. That's what, 5 bugs dead? 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 bugs dead for Team 2. That's a lot of eco. And Frieden is going to die by satellites and bricks. And 7,000, 6,000, 5,000, 4,000, 3,000. Still alive and kicking. 2,000, 1,000. There he goes. And he is killed off, which means Team 2 wins the game. 51 minutes and a half on the clock. Well, a little bit over half. And that wins the game. The MVP, of course, goes to Pro Siska because he was the last one standing in the game. And obviously leveraged the nuke to great avail. He did a very good job wiping out the air grid. And that was a huge loss for Team 1 earlier on. And just Team 2 was kind of just mainly being the aggressor. It was very much defensive for the majority of the time for Team 1. And it just allowed Team 2 to just go, okay, we'll build up bugs and we'll build up Novaxes and we'll build all this other stuff. And just Team 1, I mean, I think they were scouting a decent amount, but I don't think as much as they probably should have. Yeah, they knew that pretty much towards the end, but they probably should have had some a little bit throughout the match as well. But again, it just goes down to Team 1 was just being too defensive, and especially because it was a 3v1. Had there been more pressure, maybe it would have cracked a little bit more. But I think at that time, Pro Siska had like 4 bugs. You really had to attack the bugs and then deal with everything else. Because no land force would have been enough to deal with that unless you just spammed AA all day. But that's not what Team 2 was spamming on the ground, at least. So it's kind of a will they, won't they scenario. But again, let me know down in the comments what you felt about the match overall. Thank you so much for everybody who has sent me replays. Hopefully you enjoyed yesterday's video. If you did, please, again, like it, subscribe to the channel, like this video as well. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I did see a comment by one of you asking about the resolution. I checked, the OBS is outputting at a higher frequency, different thing, a higher resolution, but the editing software I have is also at 1080, so I'll have to change that. So for this video in particular, hopefully it's 1080. Let me know if it is. Let me know if it's not, and it actually is 1440 as well, and then I'll try to make some adjustments again. But thank you so much. Keep me on my toes. Say, hey, you need to do this, improve this, that kind of thing. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I'll see all of you in the next one.